I'm meteorologist John Dawson. This is your Fox 26 morning weather update. We've been talking about heat all summer long, but I'm going to start with something else to begin with, and that I hope you remember from last week, or maybe you kept up over the weekend. We've been watching a tropical wave move into the Gulf of Mexico, and it is now pretty much centered in the Gulf and more of a low pressure system at this point, and is expected to become a tropical cyclone really within the next 24 hours. So this is going to be something that we're watching, and we were very hopeful that we might be able to get some rain out of this, because we've always expected it not to become a full-blown hurricane or anything along those lines. It was expected to be a relatively weak tropical cyclone, meaning a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but it is now more or less in the center of the Gulf. You could see all the rain. It's starting to get kind of worked up with that, and yes, some of that could possibly come to us here in the Houston area. So that's my little starter there for you to kind of get you going here, but I do want to point out there's still a lot of other things happening across the Houston area, and we've got a few more clouds around this morning, which has slowed our temperatures just a little bit from warming up as much. Partly cloudy conditions are still there. Those east winds around 10 miles an hour. The dew points are back in the 70s, and while our thermometers in the downtown area are reading about 94, that puts the feels like temperature at about 103. So again, we're still looking at those excessive heat warnings and those heat advisories. We're going to examine that in a second. But if you missed it yesterday, because I'm sure you're aware it was hot yesterday, but it was extremely hot. It was record-breaking hot. And not only just breaking records, but smashing some of those records. College Station hit 112. That ties their all-time record high for all of the records that we have back to 1851. So that is a very hot day for the folks up in College Station. And in the Houston area, remember, Intercontinental Airport is our official recording spot for that. So the big airport hit 108. The all-time record high temperature recorded in Houston ever is 109, and we've only done that 2 times. So this could be said to be the second hottest we've ever recorded here in Houston at 108 yesterday. And that also puts another mark on the number of days in a row that we've been at 101 or higher. That's now 22 days, and we'll probably get to 23 days today. We are expecting to hit 101 at least for our high temperature today. Hobby Airport also 107, and that makes it the hottest August day on record for those folks. So again, a lot happening with the heat yesterday, and then when we get to today, we're getting kind of a little bit of a break from the record-breaking heat. It's still very hot. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we might even be able to stay out of the triple digits. We'll see how that goes. Currently, we've got the excessive heat warning for all of our inland counties. That's the pinkish looking color here. That's through this evening about 9 p.m. And then the rest of our coastal counties are looking at the heat advisory. So again, those are the formal warnings to take this heat seriously. Be cautious if you're out and moving about. Don't let it sneak up on you. I know it's August, and I know our bodies have become much more accustomed to the heat than compared to where they were in June or even July, but it's still something that can get you if you're not a little bit cautious. So again, check on those loved ones that need a little bit more attention as well. Here's the new information for you, and that has to do with that tropical system that we're watching in the Gulf. There is a tropical storm watch and a tropical storm warning. So the pinkish shading here, or salmon color, let's call it, that's going to be the watch, and that's going to move up into Brazoria County even, all of the coastline of Matagorda County, and then further down to the south towards Corpus Christi, that's where we see the warning. So potential for tropical storm force winds in this area. So that's basically 35 miles an hour up to 74 miles an hour winds that we could see in the next 36 hours for the warning, and we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on that system that is in the Gulf. So this is what we're watching. The storms are still not remained very organized, but you could see that rain that's kind of getting out ahead of it. That's what we're kind of hoping to kind of help us with some of the drought situation. So there's certainly going to be some flooding potential for where these bands of rain hit the same spot, more and more at the same time. But for some of us, this is going to be some much needed rain. And the reason why Houston is not going to see as much rain as other portions of the state, primarily Corpus Christi and south down to Brownsville, is that ridge of high pressure, that ridge, that heat dome, the one we've been talking about all summer long. It is going to help to steer and push that away from us here in southeast Texas. So here's that official forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. And it's keeping even that lantern, that center, that landfall even south of Corpus Christi. Remember, the yellow shading here represents that cone of uncertainty. So possibly even that center could come as north as Corpus Christi area. But all that rain will get wrapped around it, and we'll be able to hopefully see some of that. So here's our futurecast as far as what we're looking today. Remember, here in Houston today, just a whole lot of hot. But when we get to the end of the day, we see some of those rain bands trying to sort of kick in a little bit. It's tomorrow morning when we begin to get a little bit more serious on where this is going to make its landfall. You see the majority of the rain staying south of us here in the Houston area, go into Matagorda Bay, go into Corpus Christi, going all the way down to Brownsville. That's where the rain is going to be making. But you do see these little trailer bands that are a little bit further back. This is going to be some potential to bring that rain into the Houston area. So bottom line is, this is much more of a scattered rain situation. I don't think every one of us are going to see rain on Tuesday, but it is the highest rain chances that we have had for weeks across the area, and even just a little bit of a drop or two I think is going to be appreciated. But here's what we're looking for as far as accumulating that rainfall, and you really have to get those widespread showers and storms to start kind of piling some of that up. Again, we've got some very, very light shading of blue, meaning those isolated showers are kind of working their way in just a little bit. So we'll continue to keep an eye on things and watch how those rain showers are going to add up. But again, I think the message here that most of that rain is going to stay well to our southwest at this point in time. So that's going to be your weather update for this morning. Of course, our programming note, we've got Fox 26 News coming up at noon. We're also going to have, of course, our newscasts at 5 and 6, and we'll also bring you another digital update here streaming for you this afternoon to kind of update you on all the latest that's coming down from the National Weather Service, as well as the heat that we're dealing with. So stay tuned. We'll be sure and find you again later on today.